Ladies and gentlemen, earlier this year we went to a most mysterious place, and I took along with me a very special guest to act as an independent witness to what was about to happen. Well, look where I am this week. I'm up here, the new... Was that good?
That's enough.
It's enough. Fulton Mackay, of course, with me outside the monster exhibition, Loch Ness, Scotland. Do you believe in that?
In the monster?
Oh, aye.
Well, I wouldn't call it a monster, but I believe in it. I believe there's something in that loch.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. And I don't just mean fish. I mean, I believe there is this creature in there.
You believe in wishing wells, you.
Oh.
There you go. Oops, that's
That was a bit
upsetting.
rough.
That's upsetting your national instinct, isn't it? Here, hang on. Get it back again. Let's go and see the exhibition and meet the fellas. Now, look, you see, this is a big model of Loch Ness, which is enormous, isn't it? It's fascinating. And these two strange creatures over here, well, this one over there, that's Ronnie, you see. He owns the place, Ronnie Bremner. And Tony Harmsworth, who looks after it. He's the curator of the exhibition and museum. Now, Fulton, will you look at the size of the loch? It's enormous, isn't it?
Yes.
It is.
What is it, about 23 miles, isn't it? Something like that?
Coming up to 24.
24 miles.
It's coming up to... It must be getting
And
bigger.
it's very deep, isn't it?
Well, it's 750 feet deep. It's
Deeper
also,
than the North Sea, that?
Yes, in
Yeah.
fact, almost twice the depth of the
Amazing.
North Sea.
Yeah.
And you could put the entire human race in Loch Ness 3 times over and lose them.
What, all of them?
Everybody.
So there is room for a monster.
There's room for a few mysteries.
A few mysteries, yes.
Yeah.
Because there'd have to be more than one monster, wouldn't there, really?
Oh, we'd have to have a colony. I think zoologists have said 20 or more.
Well, we're surrounded by evidence,
Yes.
aren't we?
Have either of you seen anything?
Yes, I did. I saw something last year for the first time ever.
And how long have you been here?
I've been here 20 years.
And you've never seen anything at all? When?
Nothing at all.
Last May? Was
That's
it?
right.
Did you
Last
say?
May was the first
Had
time.
you,
No, I hadn't been tippling. No.
No?
He doesn't do things like that, obviously. Scots.
This is upright, upright Scotsman,
yes,
yeah?
yes.
What did you see?
I saw a large black hump about 100 yards from the shore, moving from my left to the right. At 10 o'clock in the morning, very bright, nice day, calm.
Well, in that case, you see, I think I can solve all the problems. See, I'm going to go fishing for it. Now, I know that sounds wacky, but I've got this little device.
Yeah.
Where's your
Seeing
fish?
is believing.
Well, Paul, in the biological section of the exhibition,
The
we've got a tank
biological
full of
section.
fish.
Yes.
We're
Is
going,
that-
yeah, we're going
Are
to
you
get...
going to do this, really?
I am going to show you. Come on, have a
Okay.
Well, let's go and find out.
Is it real?
Well, now, at the other end of your exhibition here, you've got these fish. These are not indigenous to the loch, though, are they? These are rainbow trout.
That's correct.
Doesn't matter. But they're not my fish. They are yours.
Oh, yes, they're our fish.
We've got viewers, you see, who don't believe me sometimes.
We're waiting for some alpine char, so the rainbow trout are there until they arrive.
These will do fine, son. All fish are attracted to this. Doesn't look like much, does it? But it's a device for attracting fish, and if you want to sort of make one up yourselves at home, and you'll be able to try it out. It looks like 3 curtain rings. You don't look like you believe.
Suspiciously like 3 curtains.
I'll confess. They are.
Sorry,
They are.
go.
But 3 goldy coloured rings is what you need, and you just dangle them in the water like this. I'll try and get my hand through here without ruining the suit. And you lower them into the water, and the fish will be attracted to them. So there you have it. Quite amazing. So fishermen up and down the nation will now be, you know, dangling these from their hooks, you see. Worms are definitely out now. And you wouldn't believe it. Look, what we're going to do is we're going to have a big one of these out on the loch in a little while. And, Ronnie, we're going to use one of your boats,
That
as they say
sounds
where
good.
I come from.
Right.
I'm going to put cameras on, and why don't you pop back a little later in the programme series. In the meantime, I'll return you to the studio. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope by now you've all made up one of those and have been dangling them in the fish pond. No, but nevertheless, it did work, didn't it? So we thought we'd go actually out onto the loch and fish with a huge one of these. But there's something about this next piece of film. We were very cramped on the boat. So our director couldn't get really very wide with the cameras, so we surrounded them on other boats and things. We hope you'll be able to follow it, but remember this. During the course of this film, I use a very large fishing float, which was at all times in the view of Fulton Mackay and the gentleman from the museum. And you've got to remember that because, as I say, we hadn't much room to show you everything. We hope you'll be able to follow this amazing mystery of the Loch Ness Monster.
Well now, you might have heard of a musical called Brigadoon, a beautiful story in which the town is there all the time, but it's invisible and only appears once every 100 years. My belief is that Nessie might be something similar. Invisible, always here, but only seen occasionally. So I'm going fishing for Nessie. I've got this very large, oversized fishing float, which has got a clear compartment in here, where we're going to put several little pieces of bait that might tantalize the monster. Now, what we're going to do is we'll open it up. You can see inside here, fellas, it is clear, and we're going to put various things inside. For example, this thing I found by the side of the loch only this morning. We've made a little cardboard box very quickly for it. There it is. Now, that is obviously an egg of some kind, and the bird that laid that would obviously be enormous. So it might not be a bird's egg. Perhaps it is a monster egg. You can listen to it. You can't hear anything inside. Would you like to hear nothing in there? No, I couldn't hear anything either. But I'm going to put it inside the box, which is black to absorb the heat. I'm going to put it inside the box, seal that off there, and I'm going to put this in there. And I would ask you, gentlemen, at all times through this experiment, to keep your eye on this compartment. Obviously, it's going to act like an incubator, and we'll just put that round there for now. What else can we put in there, Debbie? Now, Nessie, as we all are aware, is female. And so, to attract Nessie, not a picture of Fulton Mackay this time, a picture of Robert Redford. Now, Robert Redford, as you know, does attract the females, fellas. So, I'm just saying. You're here as independent witnesses on behalf of this research expedition to fish for Nessie the monster. So, we just put that in there like that. And having done that, we put it in the back there. Later, of course, you may be called upon by the nation... Pardon?
Porridge.
Porridge. A good idea, Debbie. A wee bowl of porridge. Now, you can see that is in there. And, of course, Scottish people, they love this stuff. They really do. Fulton, of course, you've been more involved with porridge than most. We'll just bung the spoon in there. Put the lid on it. By the way, did you see the spoon? I must show you that because it might be affected later. You never know with these experiments. That is a spoon. We'll just bung it in. And we just put that there, seal it all in, and that too goes in there. Right, what else have we got, Debbie?
Transistor radio.
Ah, now this is a very special and scientific experiment here. This is a simple radio, gentlemen. You can see that, a simple radio. Now, it's very difficult on television to persuade people these things are real and we haven't put sound on. That's real, isn't it? Say yes, Tony.
Sounds real, yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yes.
You can hear them. But I'm going to really do something quite surprising with it. I'm going to take out the batteries. Now, if I can take those out, all right, and just get rid of them, all right, like that, and that's it. Hopefully, Nessie will now give an electrifying performance because we've thrown the batteries. I knew you wouldn't like that. Anyway, it won't work at all. So I'll just put that in there. Now, last but by no means least, can we just shut that a minute because I'm going to walk past there. Can you see what we've got here? This is a hip flask, beloved of most Scots, a gentleman playing the game of golf. Now, Debbie, if I put that in there, can you just pour it in slowly because you can't spill it or Scotsmen from miles around will come diving to the decks. That's it, just beautifully filled. Look, the aroma, Debbie, is gorgeous, isn't it? Whoop, hang on, you've got it's bubbling. Oh, what a waste. Fulton's feeling the pain there. There you go. Just try a bit more. Go on, see if we can get a little bit more in. A bit more. Yes. No, it's bubbling over the top. It really is too full. Take that away. Have you got the top for this? And, gentlemen, I wonder if you would, it's one of the best parts of the job. I wonder if one of you would, Tony, would you just take that yourself, sniff it? It really is whiskey, isn't it? Yes, this aroma is now drifting off across the loch, you see.
Yes, that's whiskey.
And would you just like to put the Don't sniff it for so long. And would you just put the top on? And if I come round to you then we can keep this in shot all the time. Can you do me a favour, Debbie? Give me a label. Fulton, would you like to label either side of that? I'll peel the edge off for you. There we are. Just stick it on.
Stick it on the side.
I put it on yourself, fellas. And if you could do me another favour, Deb, give me a pen at all. A pen would be great. Now sign it anywhere you want.
Right.
All right? Anywhere you want.
On the paper, of course.
Preferably. Well, I don't mind. You put an X on the thing. And here is Fulton Mackay's autograph, which will be on sale later. That's it. Can we just show that to a camera? That's the way you signed it. You've got another label left, gentlemen. Now, this is important. I think we'll ask Tony this time. Tony, would you like to just sign your name on that yourself? Good. And I'm going to move back now while you're signing that. And I'm going to put this inside here, like this, with the rest of the gubbins. Just move that to one side. What would you like me to stick that label on? Any of the other things?
Black box.
The what? The black
The
box?
black box.
Certainly, we'll just put that on, the black box, on the top, in there. You gentlemen can see that is on there, although I can't get it out again to show the camera. And now, the thing that we saw in the museum earlier, in the aquarium part, we've got a very large version of it here. Now, we know this attracted the fish before. Hopefully, this will attract Nessie. So what I'm going to do is lower this now over the side, and we're going to haul our fishing float up into the air, and we're going to get it all over the side like this. Now, when this goes up and over, a wee bit higher, gentlemen, that's it. And now, away she goes, away she goes. Like that. Can somebody pass me a boat hook? Thank you. And lower away. Lower away. Lower away. Now we take that out to the side. Keep your eyes on the container at all times. Fulton, Tony. And we just get that into the water. Now, who knows what will happen? I'm not a fisherman. This is only the second time in my life I've ever gone fishing. The first time I spent 10 hours on the end of Redcar Pier, and when I was there, I've got to tell you, I caught nothing. So who knows? Today, probably a bit more successful. And, oh, look, there's a fisherman. Wonder if he's going to catch anything. He's caught something. What's he caught? Oh! Something's disturbed that fisherman. He's gone right under there. Yes. I hope he's going to be safe. There's some bubbles down here. I don't know what they are. By the side of the boat, and oh, whoa, I nearly lost the boat. The thing is being pulled very rapidly towards the boat. I'm sorry about this, I can't control that anymore. So we take this, quick, and can we haul that back out of the water? Although that is there still all the time, can we just slowly get this out and control it over the side of the ship? We must keep that in vision all the time. You see, it's a very important part of this experiment. And if we just hold it a bit higher, fellas, a bit higher, and all the way over. Now, can we just feed some of the chain over? Who knows? The end of the chain does feel heavy. So could you, Tony, as curator, just hold that for me? Don't pull it in yet. Let's first of all see if it has had any effect on the things that are inside here. Now, first of all, let us take these things out. Fulton, this is very important. The whole unit seems to have slipped sideways a little bit. That is your signature.
Absolutely.
And that's the only label you've signed.
Yes.
On your honour.
Absolutely.
On your honour. Debbie, let's have a glass and let's see. Because, you see, if Nessie is invisible, she could have affected all those things out there. That's the truth of it. And she's probably got some mysterious means of... she's got the whiskey. There's nothing come out of the... Debbie, you have that. And Fulton can check it all off later. The porridge, of course, the porridge. Now, this might have attracted her. And, in fact, in some... an invisible monster has got in, eaten the porridge, and... probably, it couldn't be Uri Geller. No, it couldn't. It's only Nessie. This is amazing. Debbie, can I just... and, of course, what effect has she had if she's eaten the porridge? And if she has got to got to the other thing, the whiskey. What has she done to Robert Redford? Well, whatever it is, she's made him blush extensively. Now, I don't know what she did, and I'm not so sure we should talk about it on television with children watching. And if you just take this away now, oh, the radio, which, of course, as we know, has no batteries in.
And they won the league championship.
It's working. Perhaps, does this prove that Nessie is radioactive? So, let's have a look and see what else is inside here. The other label, Tony, signed by yourself there. Tony Squiggle is your name. Yes? And Tony Squiggle is your name. And this is now in there. I can actually feel something in here moving. And who knows what will have hatched out of the egg. And let's have a look in here and see. Yes, in here. Monsters! There are indeed real monsters coming out. Debbie, quickly, put those in an aquarium. We'll examine them scientifically later. That's it. Fantastic. Oh, the other thing was, of course, our peculiar method of attracting fish of any kind. And if we just pull this out of the water now, there's something on the bottom. It's rather large. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a monster. Oh, look at that. She's left a calling card. It says, "You can't catch me, Nessie." Oh, I don't believe it. I really do not believe this. But obviously, something has happened here today at Loch Ness, which is a super place to visit. And perhaps one day you might spot the monster. In the meantime, I'll have to make do with her autograph. My thanks to Tony. My thanks to Fulton. It's a great experiment. You can't catch me, says Nessie. And of course we didn't. But who knows?
Paul, it's behind you!
Oh, yeah. It's an old joke. It's an old fantasy.